Alright, this is G Unit. We're back. Schools have opened virtually, but hey, we're reopening soon. But before then, Mrs. G was like, we have to go to Grand Tetons National Park because we've never done it. Right, Mrs. G?
Well, sure.
Which is in Wyoming, which I haven't been to since I was like 12. So we got 6 hours of driving. And we're just kind of winging it. We got campgrounds on the map, we got stuff in the back, and we're just going to see what happens.
What do you think about that, younger G?
Good idea.
Every single campsite is full, so we haven't found a place to camp yet, so the sun is setting, but we did find buffalo. I'll take buffalo right now. Mrs. G, where are we?
Grand Teton National Park, sort of.
Is this a campsite? What is this?
It's a parking lot.
Yeah. We're also trapped here with 2 other trucks, which you can't see because every park within 2 hours of Grand Teton National Park is full. There are so many people out here right now, and we are not the only people camping on the side of the road.
Alright, so where'd we sleep last night?
Y'all slept in the car, and I slept on the ground under the stars.
That's called cowboy camping.
Yeah, Mrs. G is like cowboy camping. Mrs. G, how was you sleep in the car?
I'm gonna cowboy camp tonight. Is what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna sleep on the ground with me?
Yeah, for sure.
Why aren't we?
That's what I wanted to do, by the way.
Why aren't we in a campsite?
It's super busy here. There's tons of people, which really sucks.
It is super pretty, but I think because of COVID, everybody, their brother, their cousin, their uncle, and their step cousin went to all the national parks over Labor Day weekend, including us. But you know what? We're just gonna roll with it, and we're gonna sleep on the side of the road again if we have to. We're gonna go walk and see some stuff today.
Some really pretty hikes that we're gonna do. Are you guys excited?
Yay!
Woohoo!
All right.
It's right behind you.
I'm scaring a chipmunk, sorry. Just a sec. I got in trouble for feeding the chipmunks. Mrs. G was like, don't feed the chipmunks, they're gonna come get us. And she was right. He's getting very, very brave right now. Well, we're on an inspiration point above Jenny Lake in the Grand Tetons. We're still campless and homeless, but that's okay. We're gonna just cruise around today and go to Jackson Hole and get some lunch and then pull off the road and, as Mrs. G says, cowboy camp it. Do you have to be a cowboy? Do you have to have the hat for that?
Get one.
Sweet, I'm sure there's a cowboy hat store somewhere in Jackson Hole. After 2 days of driving around, we finally found the last campsite just over the border from Wyoming, back in Idaho. How you doing, younger G, little G?
Good, good.
You ready for another day of adventure tomorrow?
Yep, yep.
Awesome. Night, night. All right, it is day, what day is it? Day 3, technically? We got to the G unit, got to sleep in a tent last night instead of, well, you got to sleep in the car the other night. You fit just fine. Instead of on the side of the road for this guy, and in the back of the car for Mrs. G. So that's an upgrade. We found a campsite. I think it's the last one in 200 miles. Now we're gonna go to Mormon Row, I think. All right, so children and YouTube viewers, this is called Mormon Row in Grand Teton National Park. And the Mormons, as they fled west, one of the places they stopped in was Wyoming, also currently called Church of Latter-day Saints today. So they grouped together to form an agricultural community right here, so we can see some of the original homestead stuff here. And they shared labor and they worked together to make irrigation, farms, crops, and fields. This log cabin definitely looks like turn of the 19th century, but this stucco-sided orange house, I'm not sure. We'll have to go take a look. There they are. Look at them. G unit. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. We're inside one of the old barns here. See, they wired this one up for electricity in the mid-20th century-ish, probably. You see this old breaker box? It's got circular spots because they used to use these goofy-looking fuses that looked like little test tubes a long time ago. So those are kind of neat. BG, what did you find?
A frog.
You found a little froggy? Let's put it back in the little water so that he feels good. Use that what? Go put him back in that little irrigation canal.
I'm gonna let him go free and play.
Thanks, baby.
Play with him.
Just
Play with little frog.
hang out with him a little bit more and then let him go back in that water. So here we are, downtown Jackson Hole. Imagine if you took a stereotypical country western town. Oh, Baby G says hi. And you just made it super touristy and designed it for rich white people. That's Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Take a peek. And we're on Labor Day weekend, so it's super, super busy. Behind me are the elk antler arches to Jackson Hole that have been there since 1960. Don't worry, these are not all from dead elk. In the winter, elk shed their antlers. Local Boy Scouts pick them up and sell them at like the farmer's market. And they use a bunch of the extra to make arches. They go on all four corners of the public park in the center of Jackson Hole. Just in case this town wasn't cowboy enough, you can get a wagon taxi. You can get your Wells Fargo. Look at that. Younger G just called Thomas Jefferson the Back to the Future guy, which, looking at this guy, makes sense. The younger G unit is industriously building their first fire ring.
That's not my first.
You've built a fire ring I don't know about?
What?
Where did you build your last fire ring?
I've made fires.
You've made fires, but have you built a fire pit?
No.
No, this is your first fire pit.
Yeah.
All right. What are you gonna do after you get the stones around it? What's the next part?
Chop wood or saw wood.
You gonna saw some wood? You wanna chop or saw?
I just said saw.
He wants to saw. All right. Baby G's making her own fire pit. You've got a lot of wood there, little one. How'd you get so strong? Alright, let's go put it by the fire. Alright, well, Baby G is asking about rock climbing right now, and for the last hour, her and younger G have been playing hide and seek in the back of the car while seat belted, so just let that sink in. Hey guys, G Unit has returned from Wyoming after a couple of days in the Grand Tetons. Ironically, we had to camp in Idaho, which is just over the border from Wyoming, because every campsite in Wyoming was full. But in Wyoming, they're all like these super groomed, manicured campsites, whereas as soon as we got over the border into Idaho, there was literally like a gravel road in the woods and you could just camp, because that's Idaho camping versus, I guess, other states. All in all, really beautiful place, really pretty. Unfortunately, lots of fires in Yellowstone, so the air quality was not great. But it was a good trip. We had fun and we made it work, and Mrs. G taught me how to do cowboy camping for the first time, so woohoo! Now back to school and lessons and work, and Mrs. G starts forest school tomorrow, so she's going to be teaching in the woods. Pretty cool. Alright, Mr. G out.